swear I do not believe it! And they are back on turf!
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the Rotherham United podcast. The post-match live. 3-0 defeat against Wycombe. It's going to be a tough one, this, but we'll go through it, as we always do. If there's any positives, rest assured we'll find them. But I don't think there will be many positives, Mick.
Sun was shining.
It was cold, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's that. See you later.
Feel free to get involved. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are. Just reply to the post, and then we'll put your comments up because we've already got a few people understandably angry. Ethan is Polish, disgusted. Best chance was George Hurst, and that says something. Yeah, I agree. Steve Adams, Wycombe wanted it more than us today, which is disappointing. That's the biggest thing for me, mate. They were miles more up for the game than we were, and that's I can accept if we get beat by the better team. To not put effort's not the right word, but to not want it as much as them is not acceptable.
No, it's not. It's not. It's as bad a performance as we've had all season. When we lost 3-0 away at Coventry, it were bad, but today's been shocking, absolutely shocking. So. I assume this is one for me from John C. Don't blame the referee who lost down. It was down to us 100%. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you, John. I'm not going to argue with that. Referee were crap, but I'm not going to argue with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're one of those games. I don't think the referee did anything particularly wrong, but he played into Wycombe's hands. Wycombe's got a game plan of getting one goal. They did it last year in League One, same thing. Get ahead, get an early goal, and just time waste. Well, to call it time wasting would be kind. It's not time wasting. It's stopping the game basically. And he just played in their hands. But
that's nothing to do with it. It's nothing to do with it at all. That was just a sort of an added bonus in terms of the annoyance factor, weren't it? Really.
Yeah, anyway. Awful. Jukester, the worst points I've ever seen from Rotherham. No fight, no guts, no effort from any of the players. Need to hang their head in shame. Embarrassing. It's not. I've seen much worse than that.
No,
I think it feels worse because of the circumstances. It feels worse. If we put in a similar performance against Middlesbrough, for example, it wouldn't feel as bad. It's because of who we were playing that it feels worse. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending the performance.
No,
but.
It's definitely not the worst performance ever. I've been watching him a long time, and I have seen some crap. I have seen some garbage. But yeah, I mean, well, I can't. I'm still struggling to argue, to be honest with you. Callum Gibson's written a novel. Cheers, Callum. He started typing this about 3:05, I think.
Yes, but throughout the season, he thought we'd stay up, but today's changed his mind. We liked a leader at the back, especially 2 crap goals. If Wood's on them, I think we would have a different story. Wycombe deserved the 3 points. They came in and showed us fighting to stay up. Our lads need to work on finding the back of the net because we had taken our chances. We might have got something.
If we take our chances, we win that game 11-3, 12-3. You know what I mean? I've not seen the stats. I've not looked at the stats. I don't know how many were on target. But
there were only a couple. I thought.
If we had 2 on target, I'll be surprised, and that is inexcusable. For me, out of everything, out of the whole performance today, the worst part of it is that the efforts on target were just non-existent. They were going all here, there, and everywhere, and it's just not good enough. Not good enough at all. So yeah.
Jamie frustrated as well. Let's bring it the same old. We've got plenty of time. We played well. Our next few winnable. The win was against us. On any other day, we would have won. Poor ref. Time wasting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like he adds, today was embarrassing. When I saw the starting lineup full of confidence, and it lasted 24 minutes. It lasted that long. It didn't last that long for me, Jamie.
Not for me neither.
Talking about team selection, because we've got a few on here about team selection, mate. It was basically a 4-4-2 with a diamond, which is It felt like he was trying to show on all those players all the four midfielders into a system. It didn't work. It was simple as that. And the midfield went lacking completely.
When we talked about it before the game, and we said there's no width in this team, and so it proved. And that one, he's got to have a look at himself. He's made a mistake today, definitely in terms of his team selection. He's tried to change it at half time. I don't think it changed it enough to get anything out of the game. The bottom line is that whoever was in their 18-yard box, I've used this phrase before, but they couldn't hit a bull's ass with a shovel, could they? You know what I mean? It was just not acceptable. And that's why we lost the game. I mean, the first goal is a deflection off three players that falls kindly to one of theirs. I'm struggling to blame anybody specifically for that personally. I'm sure somebody will be able to blame somebody. I have no problem with that. I accept that. But it came off Barlas's back, hit a defender, and then dropped to one of their players. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. The second one was a deflection. I mean, that ball was probably going to go out for a throw-in. The shot was probably going to go out for a throw-in. It was missing net by a mile.
It will.
And it takes a deflection. So, but the issue with that is then we don't respond. We don't respond until 10 minutes before half-time. We up the pace a little bit, but still can't get anywhere near net. You know what I mean? And then obviously, like we said, they just take the sting out of the game. I don't know how long the ball were in play for the second half. 45 minutes, probably 10, 12 minutes. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. But why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Much as it's annoying and frustrating, that's what you're going to do. You're going to break the play up and not allow teams to get any sort of momentum. Even if they'd allowed us to get some momentum, we wouldn't have got any, would we?
No.
You know what I mean, just garbage, really. It were.
It were. I agree. Yeah, it's not good enough. Chris Wright was our team selection. He had to do a change of formation because there was no one, because all the Sunday weren't fit, and because there was no Robertson. There was no option. He had to play four at back. I don't have a problem with playing four at back, but when you play four across midfield, you've got to play some wingers.
You've got to have some
exactly. Width. And it's all right saying Archie weren't fit. Well, he could have put Giles at left back. I know Giles weren't very good, but he could have played Giles at left back, put Wiles at left wing, and put Flo Joe at right wing. Yeah. Easy peasy, job done. It felt like they were trying to be too clever and trying to make, we'll do this new system and we'll fit all these players in because these are our best players. It
fell flat on the face, didn't we? Flat on our face with that, unfortunately. So John Littlewood, they wanted it more than us. Second game in a row, and he's right. Absolutely. So.
Josh Smith, handful of players turning down contracts can leave ASAP if they're performing like that. Mind-blowing how Wiles have been getting chance behind the strikers, but Crooks get chance after chance. This plays into what we talked about on the last podcast, Mick. You can't play Crooksy in his favourite position, or Wiles, for example, if you're going to play Freddie as well. You just can't. It's not possible. They don't work together. And he's got a decision to make. You either play Crooksy in his position or you play Freddie. There's no point playing both. If you're going to play three in midfield, you probably play Wiles, Lindsay, and either wing or bar laser.
Yeah.
If you're going to play as a three, if you're going to play a man behind striker, then you play Crooks.
Yeah.
Crooks is not having the effect that he was having before Freddie came into the team.
No, he's not.
And this is we're at a point in the season where this is going to send us down. If he don't make a decision, it is going to send us down because we haven't played well. We haven't played well since Freddie's come back in the team, and that's not a slight on Freddie because Freddie's played well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, absolutely. It's just that the players around him are not performing because they're playing out of position. I guess would be the argument. I'm not sure about the players turning down contracts, leaving, and everything else. I'm not sure about that. If they're looking for another club, then they should be performing better than they would ordinarily because they're going to be looking for a move. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they should be trying to sell themselves, and that's certainly not happened today. They've only gone down in value, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, big time. John Incliff mentioned it again. Why play down with no width? One realised at half-time made a mistake. Haven't played that formation all season. Very poor. Yeah. He felt he had to do something.
Yeah.
Against a team like Wycombe, due respect to Wycombe, why be that clever? We know what Wycombe's quality is, and it's not very good. And be able to say the same about us. I don't have a problem with that. You don't have to be too clever against a team like Wycombe. Just play to your strengths, and the chances are something.
Listen, I'm not going to give Wycombe any respect. I'm not going to give Wycombe any respect at all. I genuinely hope they go down. I hope they go down. I do, because I have no time for that kind of behaviour. I don't want my team playing it. I hate it. And it's they're better off in League One or League Two. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. It's in. And listen, that ain't cost us game. I'm not saying that for a minute. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we would have won if they hadn't done it. I'm not, because if we'd have still been playing next Sunday, we still wouldn't have scored. You know what I mean? So I ain't got an issue with that. But I hate it. I hate it. It's cheating. Bottom line is, it's cheating. So get out, get down. And I'm paying them no respect whatsoever as far as I'm concerned. Stuff them.
Okay. Any Wycombe fans watching?
Yeah, up to you. Get yourself off down south, back down south.
Josh Smith, same mistakes as 2 years ago. Yeah. We said we'd learned from them. Can't see Stuart being happy with him. Fear for Warney replacement. I sort of agree. We have learned from our mistakes to a point, but today was a perfect example. This was a performance from 2 years ago. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But in all one seasons that he's been in charge of us, there has been one game where it's gone badly, and then the next we go on a run. You look at when we beat Blackpool and turned it round. The first half of that Blackpool game, but I know it's 2 years ago now, but the first half was dire. Something happened. They had a team talk, blah blah blah, and then it clicked, and we went on the next amount of games winning run. Similar, I think the last time in the Championship was it Southend? We drew 2-2 with Southend. A bad Southend team, and then that's when after that we went on that run. I seem to recall a game against Charlton again. We played badly, and that sort of changed in a end of season as well. This has got to be that moment. The difference is now we're 6 points off safety, and if Birmingham win tomorrow or pick up a point tomorrow against Brentford, which Brentford are garbage at the minute, they could do, we're going to find ourselves at least 7 points. Adrift of safety.
Birmingham will win tomorrow. They'll get the 3 or 4 penalties that they got the other night, and they'll win, won't they? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you're right. We need it. It's got to change. I will not. I'm not going down this worn out route. You know what I mean? I am not going down it. It's just, you know, it's a learning curve for everybody. Whatever you do, whatever job you're in, you're always getting a bit more experience, and you're always learning. And you know, some of us got to work and come home and do as little as we possibly can. I'll stick my hand up as being one of them. One, he's not that kind of bloke. He will want to learn from his mistakes, and he will work harder than any of us, probably. You know what I mean? To try and learn from him and make himself a better manager. So for me, yeah, you know, listen, football clubs are going to lose games. They're going to have losing runs. They're going to get relegated. That happens. It's how you react to that and how you learn from that. And you're right, we have made some of the same mistakes as we made 2 years ago, some of them, but we're a better side, we're a better quality side, and we should have enough to stay in this division. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? It's going to be a long old slog now.
Yeah, what I will say is, if we get relegated, if you're in League One, who do you want as your manager to get you? Who knows how to get out of League One? Paul Warren's done it twice in a row. So you know what I mean?
Tough division next year, though.
Oh God, won't it just? Piggers will spend money. If Sunderland don't go up, they'll still spend money. If Peterborough don't go up, they'll be strong. Ipswich will be stronger. It's going to be a tough league next year, League One. We don't want to be in it. Wigan, if we're going to stay up, they've got these new owners. They'll probably put some money in. Wycombe will probably be there and thereabouts if they go down. Yeah, I don't want to go down. Anyway.
Yeah.
Jason Wick, correct?
Yeah.
Matthew Hepson, no Emperor today. Could have been a different story if we took us chances to move on to Saturday. I wish Saturday were tomorrow. We need another game. Yeah. Ethan Polish says he thinks that the players, where the team played, don't agree with the selection. They couldn't hit balls off the show, as Mick mentions. More in 1978, that hurt. We didn't have any answer to their tactics, which is not a surprise. Yeah.
It is a surprise to me because of that stuff that I've just spouted out there about Warney learning from mistakes and wanting to get better. You know, I would have expected better, and I think that's probably the most disappointing thing about today. You know, that we expected better, not the fact that Wycombe are bottom of the league. That's irrelevant, really. Just I expected better from the team, but like we said. probably the formation didn't help, did it? So anyway, but Jason's added on a bit more now.
Just a little the less said about that, the better. A must-win game for me on the very first time this season that I felt we might not make it. Not interesting. Look, we were beat by a very average team. Our chances were the same old story. Let's be right. They're the bottom of the league for a reason. None of their goals were particularly good finishes. The first one, Johansson's position is poor, but that's because they weren't expecting it. I don't have a problem with the third goal for Johansson. Again, it's not an amazing finish. Might have been offside.
Looked offside to me. I mean, I was screaming offside straight away, and a few other things.
Poor. But we should have done better. No questions. Jason Wick, the fat lady, is clearing our airways and getting ready. I don't think we're at that stage yet, but
no.
Well, we've got Coventry Birmingham to play. That's the key thing. Easter weekend. We always talk about the Easter weekend being pivotal. And it could be pivotal. It could be the end of the season. I don't think Warney will say that, and I don't think the players will think that. But this could be what sends us down. We needed a couple of points from these two games at least, and that's what Coventry and Birmingham were saying. Coventry would have been saying if we pick up 3 points, 4 points. Birmingham, they'll be saying same. And if Rotherham don't win, we'll be safe. Well, Rotherham haven't won, and they have. We'll go next. Callum Gibson. Dreading next week even more. We still have to play 2 games in 3 days. How on earth we're going to play 4 games in 9 games? We missed all Sunday, didn't we, today? It was a big miss. If we played all Sunday, we could have played 3-5-2 still, couldn't we? That was the big difference in formation-wise.
Yeah. But even so, we've still got the players to play it if you needed to play it. You know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is, and he's made that decision, and he's now got to suck it up, hasn't he? See what happens on Saturday. So.
Yeah, I agree. Correct answer, Matt. Hope he sorts it out next time. Sean Thompson, a yo-yo club on the way back down again, sadly. Potentially. Jason Wick, what are the chances of Chris Wilder? Well, we can dream, can't we? Aki Fenway.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, great. Well done. Congrats.
Ray Smedley, why play players out of position? Clark should have started before Wiles. And he agrees with Freddie and Crooksey.
Yeah, I don't get this. I don't understand what the problem is with Trevor Clark. We tweeted this out before the game. I don't understand. He looks dangerous when he's going forward. He seemed reasonably solid defensively. He's no worse than anybody else that we've got. I don't get why he won't give him a chance. There must be something. There must be some issue somewhere along the line, but I don't understand it at all. Don't know. I just don't get it. He could have played him today. Anyway, he didn't, did he?
No.
I don't know. Well, not else to say on that, is there?
No. Oliver Rowett, amateurish performance, running about with no direction. Big summer at Birmingham in 18-19. I completely agree. And it was exactly the same time at season. I think it was Easter Monday in 2019 that it happened in. And he disagrees with you, Mick, about the management team capable of keeping us up in this league. Yeah, potentially. Well, yeah. Go on.
No, I was going to say I'm not convinced that they can either. But I genuinely don't think that's a reason to change them. That's my issue. I think we've got to be in this for the long term, the proper long term, because you've got to look at the bigger picture, in my view, in terms of what's happening to other clubs financially and everything else. The way this club's being run at the moment is being run properly, on the field and off the field. Yeah, the results are not going our way, and yeah, the performances are not up to it. However, it's about being a solid club and a solid proposition, I guess, for players to come to, because a lot of players ain't going to be going to the likes of Wednesday and everywhere else, Derby, who pretty soon won't be paying the players again, I'm sure, and all these other clubs. So I'm not convinced that they're capable of keeping us up this season. Not now, not after today. I was. After today, I'm not so sure, but I'm not a fan of changing managers willy-nilly. and I know 4 years is not willy-nilly, but nevertheless, I don't agree with it. But it's all about opinions, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it is. Craig Pearcey, the team selection today and the in-game decision were as bad as Smith's haircut a week before the barbers opened back up. That's exactly what I said. But for me, it was how it played out today. They fully deserved 3 points. Dark Arts crippled the game. It did, but they had a game plan and stuck to it. That's more of a plan than we had today. Yeah, you can say what you want about their way of playing, Mick, but they know exactly what they needed to do. They needed to do this, they needed to do that, and that's exactly how the game played out. And we didn't have an answer for it. And what's all more frustrating is Wycombe. That's not the first time Wycombe have played like that.
No,
they've not just sprung a surprise on us and
no.
Mugged us off in terms of performance. That's what Wycombe do, and I don't necessarily have a problem with it, because if that's what they think they need to do to stay up, do whatever. Your team, you do what you want to do. Yeah. But it's been drilled into them what they needed to do, and we did not have a clue in terms of our plan today. I don't know what our plan was today.
I don't think we had one, did we? We didn't have one.
No,
we didn't have one. I can't. I'm not going to try and sit here and try and defend anything, because you can't defend that. You can't defend the performance. You can't defend the result. You can make as many excuses as you want, but like I said, even if we'd been playing till next Saturday, we wouldn't have scored. We wouldn't have scored. So. Anyway. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. Jason Wickley mentioned Clark. He's looked good since we signed him. He's been no chance running the team. Lost to where we sign players, don't play them, send them out on loan. What happened to Scott's excellent recruitment? This is the one thing Warner needs to answer. Yeah, but I think for the most part the signings have been good. It was just one or two that looked bizarre. And another one today, Mick. You got Sadler on bench, and we're chasing game. Why has Sadler not come on? What's happened there? Because Sadler was top scorer for Donny last season.
I don't understand that. We put Flojo on, who's been absolutely dire the last couple of times he's come on, completely devoid of any confidence at all, and yet Sadler has run people ragged when he's come on. I don't understand it. It's not acceptable. That for me, it's poor decision making on behalf of Warne and Barker, and I'm sure they've made the wrong decision there. Team selection, substitutions as well, not good enough today. Not good enough at all, and then they're going to have to take a long, hard look at themselves in terms of how we turn out on Saturday now. Definitely, because that's not good enough.
Well, this is the last few days of proper training we'll have between now and the end of the season. We've got 4 days before Saturday. That's the biggest gap we're going to have for the rest of the season. So it's a chance to get some ideas into them. You'd assume. But bearing in mind that Sunday and Robertson were apparently not major injuries, you'd assume they could be back for Saturday. We know Woody's going to be back for Saturday, unless he suddenly picks up some random injury. Let's see. John Comrie, cheers for adding to the good news, mate. Sheffield Wednesday are now winning. So
yeah, thanks for that, pal.
Yeah, you did get even better. Ray Smedley mentions Woody will back Saturday. He thinks play Clark and Harding. Wing Wiles, McDonald in midfield with Crooks and Smith up top, and obviously all Sunday if he's fit. Yeah, I feel really. I agree with that, but I feel bad that we could talk about this little cows coming about Freddie. Freddie did nothing wrong today. Absolutely nothing wrong. No. He was better than Smith was today.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, definitely. No question about it. Yeah, but yeah, it just disrupts the balance of the team, doesn't it? Which again. It's a poor excuse, really. That's not acceptable either. Let's be fair.
Matt Squires agrees with me. We tried to overcomplicate it today and be too smart. I didn't need to pay the price. This is one of the things I will level a complaint at Warney, is that when he tries to be too clever, and I'm not saying he's got a management team. It's not just on his head, but he's the manager. When he tries to be too clever, it almost never works.
No.
In League One, when he take off on a Sunday to put Wiles on at right back to then change something else to do this, that, and other, it never works. 3-5-2, it was working. If you can't play your preferred formation, just go flat 4-4-2. I know it's basic, but everybody knows how to play 4-4-2. If you put me in a 4-4-2, I'd have a good idea of what I'm doing in terms of what my job is and what my role is. When you play a diamond, a diamond's quite a relatively complicated formation to play, because you have all the different roles, different positions. To have 2 days training, 1 day training, because they want to train Saturday, It's never going to work.
No.
Yeah.
We've gone over it, and the bottom line is for me that the defeat today lies fairly and squarely at the player's fault and at Warney's feet as well. I can't defend him, and I will defend him to the hilt whenever I can. You know, I think he's the best manager that we could possibly have, but he's dropped a clanger big time today, and in the last 2 games for me, he's not got the team up for it, which is really, really disappointing. But also on the players' part as well, it's really disappointing on their part. Not good enough, and they need to have a look at themselves for Saturday, big time. Yeah,
I agree. Carl Gibson mentions that Gareth Ainsworth said we were lucky the wrong day to have shooting boots on. I think he's had his tongue firmly in his cheek because after that to Paul Davis he said they were sitting comfortably in the last 10 minutes, and that's never happened to us before in the Championship. I mean, he's 100% right.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I can't argue with Gareth Ainsworth on either point there. On either point, if we had our shooting boots on, absolutely, like I've already said, that game would end up 11-3, 12-3. But we didn't, did we?
No,
we didn't even hit target, and that's what sticks in my throat more than all else.
Yeah. The last couple of comments, then we're going to finish because I want to try and get over this now. Neil Smith, what a joke today, shocking. And Lee Phillip Jews, shocking display. Some players are just not out of the Championship. You said that, but if we go down, just to briefly play devil's advocate, if we go down, Icky could get a Championship move. Olasunde are probably going to get a Championship move if he doesn't sign a new contract. Barley could play in the Championship. Crooks will get a Championship move. Smith will get a Championship move. There's a reasonable chance that Freddie will get a Championship move. Wiles could end up getting a Championship move. And that's half at first team there. If they are good enough, Wing will go back to Middlesbrough, and if you don't play for Middlesbrough, go somewhere else in Championship. Lindsay could play in the Championship. I'm hoping that Lindsay will stay on, but Lindsay could very well go into the Championship team. This team is good enough. Yeah, they do lack that little bit of quality.
There's no question they're good enough. No, I'm not wearing that, Matt. I'm not wearing that. When you look at the teams, some of the teams that we've played, if you're going to tell me that the likes of Millwall and Blackburn have got more quality in their sides, Middlesbrough, yeah, they've got more expensive players. Yeah, they've got more experienced players. But if you're going to tell me that teams like that have got Birmingham, Coventry, Luton, if you're going to tell me that they've got more quality in their side than we have, then I'm not wearing that at all. Not at all. So, I know I'm talking against myself here. It's got to be down to the way we set up and manager. So he needs to be looking at it.
Yeah. Final couple of comments. Well said. How about players' natural positions? They were signed to play in way too much jiggling. And Jiswick doesn't quite agree that they are all Championship players. I suppose we'll see in terms of next season where they are. I think a lot of players I mentioned could get Championship moves, and some of them will.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
I think Chris Webber's saying he's concisely put what I was trying to say there. We've got good players, but not consistent. Yeah, absolutely. So
our goal says been prepared for 2 games with 2 weeks off. Yeah. I think we maybe were trying to be too clever by looking at the overall running and not looking what we're right in front of us face in terms of first 2 games after the break. This may pay off. We may end up winning. We may still end up saying, "Oh, there's a half decent chance we'll still stay up." It's probably less than 50% chance to me that we stay up now. But anyway,
yeah. I mean, obviously Matt's desperately trying to end this. So if you can just keep sending comments through, that would be fantastic.
We're going to end it now because we've got a podcast to do in tomorrow to try and talk about it. It's been 45 minutes. So if you want to fancy listening to us, Ben will be with us for the podcast for the full episode, which will be out on Wednesday morning. So if you fancy listening to that and some of Ben's theories, join us. And then we'll be back out on Friday for the preview of what will we play Saturday?
Huddersfield.
Yeah, the games don't get less big, do they?
No, they don't.
Cool.
They don't. So they've got to get their backsides into gear.
Yeah,
pre-watershed, backsides into gear.
If we pick up 8 or 9 points from next week, then we're back in game, no doubt about it.
Did you just say that? Did you just actually say that?
Why?
All right. Well, I hope you're right. Maybe we can.
Oh, we are, aren't we? If that happens, we are back in game. Anyway.
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all getting involved. We appreciate it. And we will see you all on Wednesday morning for the podcast, and then Friday morning again. We'll do the post-match whenever we can over the next couple of weeks as well. Thank you very much, Mick. It's been pleasure's not the right word, but it's been something to do.
Well, we've got a little bit off our chest, haven't we? If you are watching on YouTube, by the way, click on the subscribe button for us while you're there. So try and get those subscribers up. We're closing on 200 subscribers on our YouTube channel now, so it'd be fantastic if we could hit that target before the Huddersfield game. So get yourselves over to YouTube and click on the subscribe button, please. Yes, thank you very much. And I'm glad it's made you feel better, mate, because I still feel like crap. So I'm just trying to be polite, mate. I feel as crap as it. Yeah. Cool. Beer, right. Beer, and then work tomorrow. Great. Yeah. Right. Thank you all, and we'll see you Wednesday morning for the podcast. Thank you very much.
Pringle looking towards Odegaard. Ravel.